Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village, there lived a young man named Noor. A hard-working soul, Noor had always done his best to help his mother, who was gravely ill. From feeding the goats to fetching water, Noor never complained. He had dreams, yes, but dreams that seemed just out of reach. One day, before heading up to the hills to tend to the goats, his mother reminded him, "Noor, don't go past the rocks." Noor promised to be careful, assuring her he would bring back some wild rabbits for dinner. His mother smiled, though deep down, she knew her time was limited. That night, as Noor prepared dinner, he found his mother had passed away. The grief was overwhelming, but through his tears, he remembered her final wish: to live a life of his own, a life he could be proud of. With his mother laid to rest, Noor knew what he had to do. He would leave his childhood home and pursue his dream of becoming an adventurer, just like the ones in the stories his father had once told him. As he searched through his father's belongings, Noor found an old adventurer's book, full of tales of dragon slayers, powerful mages, and heroic feats. These stories reignited the fire within him. Noor had a new goal. He would become an adventurer. With a heavy heart but a determined spirit, Noor set out on his journey. He visited his parents' graves, promised to make his dreams a reality, and left his home for the first time. After days of traveling, Noor arrived at the bustling city gates, overwhelmed by the sight of so many people. The city was everything he had imagined and more. The city was alive with energy, and Noor's excitement grew. He soon found his way to the Adventurers Guild, ready to take the first step toward his dream. At the guild, Noor met the receptionist, a strong, no-nonsense man who told him that he was too young to be an adventurer. Noor explained that with no parents and no future, adventuring was the only path he had. The receptionist understood Noor's situation. He agreed to give him a chance, but only under one condition. Noor had to learn a skill, whether it be swordsmanship, magic, or archery, before becoming an adventurer. With renewed determination, Noor headed to a training school to learn swordsmanship. He imagined himself, like the hero in his father's book, slaying dragons with a single swing of his sword. But despite his best efforts, no matter how hard Noor tried, he couldn't unlock any sword skills. He only learned how to parry. Months passed, and his instructor advised him to try something else, as it seemed swordsmanship wasn't his talent. Refusing to give up, Noor tried his hand at other professions. Warrior training, where he gained only a slightly stronger physique. Hunting, where he broke every bow he tried to use. Yet each time he failed. Each failed attempt brought more disappointment. No matter what he tried, Noor could never seem to find the skill he needed to become an adventurer. Defeated, Noor returned to the Adventurers Guild, where the receptionist listened to his story. "Impossible," he said. Though the receptionist felt sympathy for Noor, he couldn't allow him to become an adventurer. Noor's dream seemed all but crushed. But Noor didn't give up. Determined to prove himself, he carved a wooden sword and began training on his own. Talent or not, he would keep pushing forward. With every swing, Noor knew he might never become a skilled swordsman, but he would fight with all his might. Because in the end, it wasn't just about talent, it was about heart, determination, and the courage to continue, even when the odds were stacked against him. And so, Noor's journey continued, not as a hero born with great power, but as a man who would stop at nothing to forge his own path, one swing at a time. For years, Noor has dedicated himself to relentless training. Despite his lack of talent, he refuses to give up on his dream of becoming an adventurer. Years turn into decades, and though his parrying technique grows godly, one day with nothing left to lose, Noor returns to the Adventurers Guild, hoping to finally fulfill his dream. But the receptionist is quick to inform him that without at least 2 useful skills, he cannot become an adventurer. His only skill, the ability to parry, is not enough. Then the guildmaster arrives. He recognizes Noor instantly. It's been years since they last spoke, but the man knows Noor's struggle. After hearing about his journey of failure and endless training, the guildmaster offers him a glimmer of hope. Guildmaster tells to become an E-rank adventurer, you need at least 2 skills. But there is one rank lower, F rank. It requires no more than the bare minimum. No one has ever been desperate enough to take it, but you, Noor, seem different. Eager to prove himself, Noor eagerly accepts the F-rank adventurer license. Though it restricts him to mundane tasks, it's a chance to finally live the life he's dreamed of. As an F-rank adventurer, Noor starts with the most menial tasks, delivering goods, clearing gutters, carrying heavy loads of cement. Though these tasks are far from the heroic feats he once imagined, Noor finds fulfillment in being of service to the people. He may not be the adventurer he envisioned, but he's content to help in any way he can. Then one fateful day, while working on a construction site, Noor hears a scream, a cry for help. Without hesitation, he dashes toward the dungeon from which the sound came. Inside, Noor finds a group of knights battling a minotaur to protect a girl and her party. But the knights fall one by one, and the minotaur shows no mercy. Noor, seeing the girl's imminent danger, decides to step in. With no offensive skills of his own, Noor can only parry. He throws a rock to distract the minotaur. Then, with extraordinary precision, he parries its deadly strikes. Again and again, he deflects its blows, each one pushing him to his limit. When the minotaur turns back to the girl, Noor rushes in, using his feather step skill to quickly intervene. He steps in front of the girl and counters the minotaur's attack, even though it shatters his in the process. Despite his shattered sword and his lack of attacking power, Noor refuses to stop. He's made up his mind. Even if he can't be a great hero, he will fight for others. No matter what, he will protect those in need. Noor keeps parrying. Each blow from the minotaur could be fatal, but he persists, refusing to let the girl die. His strength lies not in offense, but in his unyielding defense. In the end, Noor's perseverance wins the day. He saves the girl, and though he's not the mighty adventurer, he's a hero in his own right. His journey is far from over, but Noor has proven that even the smallest skills, when honed with dedication, can make a difference. It's not the adventure Noor imagined, but it's his journey, and he's content with that. Meanwhile, Princess Lin, shaken by the events, blamed herself for the loss of lives in the dungeon. Her knight apologized for not accompanying her, but Lin assured her it wasn't anyone's fault. This trial was meant to prove her worth, not to bring anyone else into danger. Back at the castle, Lord Rain investigated the mysterious Minotaur's appearance. He concluded that it must have been magically summoned, pointing to a suspicious merchant holding a ring with an unusually pure magic stone. The ring's origin traced back to the Empire of Doritas, historical rivals who seemed to be baiting Rain into a war, aiming to take control of the dungeon. But what puzzled Rain the most was the identity of the warrior who defeated the Minotaur in seconds, and then vanished without a trace. Meanwhile, back at the guild, Noor returned, unaware that the guildmaster was astonished by his survival. A Minotaur was no mere threat. It would have been the death of even the strongest adventurers. Yet Noor remained oblivious to his own impact. As he completed his report, Lin appeared, having tracked him down with a long-distance detection skill. Noor, still assuming she was a thief, was surprised when she revealed herself as a magician with a talent for multiple classes. The guildmaster, suspicious of Lin's interest in Noor, warned him to be cautious. Yet Lin continued to express her gratitude, convinced Noor had saved her life and many others. Despite his protests, she insisted on offering a reward. At Lin's house, who introduces herself as Lindbergh Clays, though she prefers to be called Lin. As they walk through her home, Noor notices the wealth around him, realizing that Lin's family isn't joking about their status. Soon they run into Ian and Gilbert. Lin runs up to them, explaining that Noor saved her life. Ian and Gilbert kneel in respect, but Noor walks past without doing so. Gilbert, a royal knight, initially distrusts Noor, but lowers his weapon once he understands Noor's role as Lin's guest. In the throne room, the king is engaged in a tense meeting about a peace treaty. Lin excitedly greets her brother and father, explaining how she had to leave without permission to find Noor. When Noor finally met King Rain, the king notices Noor's lack of aristocratic behavior and insists on thanking him. The ruler's offer of land and treasure was declined. Noor only wanted a simple thank you, but the king, recognizing his humility, gifted him an ancient sword from his past adventures. As Noor held the heavy sword, something shifted within him. With a swing, he revealed a strength he hadn't realized he possessed. The king praised him, acknowledging his potential, and asked Noor to help train Lin. Though reluctant, Noor accepted the responsibility, realizing there was more to his journey than he had imagined. Before leaving, Noor notices something unique about the sword. Its shape might come in handy. In approaches Noor, apologizing for her earlier rudeness. Noor accepts, acknowledging her duty to protect the Clay family. Noor finds himself in a situation where he must express his gratitude. Nora, who witnessed his heroic act, offers to help him if he ever needs anything. But Noor doesn't want to dwell on the matter, so he simply accepts and moves on. However, Nora warns him not to speak disrespectfully to the king again, something she won't tolerate. As Nora's about to leave, he's stopped by Gilbert, who wants to challenge him to a fight. Gilbert, confident in his skills, seeks to test Noor, who has gained some recognition after saving Lin. Despite never practicing with another person before, Noor accepts the challenge, eager to prove himself. A small crowd gathers, expecting Gilbert to easily overpower Noor. But what they witness is far from their expectations. Gilbert's precise, slow attacks are dodged effortlessly by Noor. Surprised by Noor's skill, Gilbert begins to realize that something isn't right. Noor, convinced that Gilbert must be holding back intentionally, calls for a timeout. He tells Gilbert not to hold back so much. Gilbert reluctantly agrees and increases his speed, but even his faster attacks are dodged without difficulty. Frustrated, Gilbert wonders why his strikes keep missing. Gilbert tries his ultimate move, but Noor effortlessly evades it and appears right by his side. Defeated, Gilbert concedes, realizing he has been bested by someone stronger than himself for the first time. Back at the training hall, Gilbert's subordinates attempt to reassure him, but deep down, Gilbert knows he's been outmatched. His quest for strong rivals has always ended in disappointment, and now his once proud victories feel hollow. Gilbert reflects on his boredom, surrounded by opponents far weaker than himself. His instructor points out that while Noor might not have the same kind of strength as Gilbert, someone like N might offer the challenge he so desperately craves. Back at his routine gutter cleaning job, Noor couldn't help but reflect on the encounter. Despite Gilbert's full strength, Noor had barely escaped, prompting him to train harder, realizing his own limitations. One morning, Lin appeared, seeking to become Noor's page, someone who could support him and learn from his strength. But Noor refused, saying he had nothing to teach and didn't need assistance. Undeterred, Lin showcased her mastery of powerful ice and fire spells, as well as the Mist Blade, a technique taught by the Sovereign of Shadows. Yet Noor remained unmoved, insisting she had no need to help him. Lin, however, couldn't forget what she saw. The tiny flame spell, perfected by Noor, left her in awe. Despite her own impressive skills, Noor's discipline and dedication far surpassed her own.